Marv, it's 2026, the
Kelly,
first
Kelly.
podcast of the year.
Oh my
I
goodness. We'll have
know.
to make it a good one.
We'll have to. We have no other choice. This is the way of
Yeah.
the year. You know, it's interesting about, I was just telling you, I had the flu over the holidays and I was really looking forward to having a break. And so obviously that doesn't feel like a full, like rejuvenating break. But in some weird way, taking a step away and then having that, like, I had no choice. I couldn't go see my friends and do all the things, or there was no work happening or anything like that. And I really stayed quiet over that time. And so now I'm like so excited to be getting back to the things that I wasn't doing. And so it feels like there really is this new energy moving into 2026. And I really didn't expect to feel this way.
Well, Kelly, being a Cancer, you're the kind of person that just drives themselves taking care of others.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have to crash.
Yeah.
And so when you get sick, all you're really doing is crashing.
That's
You're
been
just
the
taking
story of my
time out
life.
for you. Well,
Yeah.
it's natural. You're ruled by the moon. You're like the ocean tides. When you go out and raise hell. When you pull back, you pull all the
Oh,
way.
yeah. I think everyone in my life would attest to that. Because it's probably confusing to people, I would think, because it's almost like 2 different kinds of personalities, but it's not. It's just the recharge, and I have other things in my chart that say this too, but you're so right in that I'll overgive to the point of exhausting myself so much that I won't even realize I'm overgiving until I get sick or something, you know?
Yeah. And
But
you know what's beautiful about that
what?
is we're going to address it.
I know. I saw that in the outline and I was like, that is me right there. Well, let's just dive in because I know we have a lot to cover today. And a lot of this moving into 2026, I know 2025 was like a big year astrologically with a lot of things. And it's really not like there's not any slowing down with that moving into 2026 is what I can see, but it's different. And so, yeah, I want you to just start with addressing this and let's just dive in.
Well, when we left with the new moon in Sagittarius, we obviously needed to change our philosophy and our belief system to get much more in alignment with our spiritual values. And so, as we're now moving into the full moon as of a couple of days ago, 3 days ago,
Mhm.
we're having to, this full moon is bringing to light the need to reappraise some of our goals and question the course of what our life. I heard you talking to Chip on one of the podcasts or TikToks or whatever the hell it was, and you were all, I feel like I need to do something. I want to change. And that's exactly what this is all about
Yeah.
in this full moon, is looking at that and saying, um, how do I handle this new sense of this new year? How
Mhm.
am I going to approach it? This is my opportunity. And so it's really, it's when you look at the chart, it's really a very, very interesting full moon chart because you got the moon and Jupiter opposing a string of planets. And it's like 8 planets,
In Capricorn?
7 of them in Capricorn and Pluto in Aquarius. And so we're really having to, instead of responding emotionally to things, we need to settle down and monitor feelings instead of emotions because the emotions are in Cancer. And when you rise above into an emotional orangutan, well, you're cutting off your intuition.
Mhm.
And with it, Jupiter being retrograde, ain't nobody listening very clearly anyway, because you're not trusting your gut. You're not trusting your feelings to be accurate because you're feeling this energy. I need to do. And so I think that that's a part of all of this is where we're trying to discover what is our belief, what is
Okay.
that reflects our individuality the best. And of course, on top of that, uh, we've got exactly 3 days in a balsamic Venus Mars, which means our relationships is in a 2-year cycle is coming to an end in 3 days, which means we start a whole new relationship cycle.
Okay.
Ooh, that means that means you have 3 days to decide what parts of your relationship of the past 2 years do you not want repeated
Hmm.
for your own individual self in the next 2 years. And whatever you don't let go of by the ninth, you're going to take it into the next 2 year cycle.
Hmm.
And so that's a pretty big deal
That
as
is
you
a big
see,
deal.
as you hear me go through this of what we're being challenged to change.
Mhm.
And it's very much going to be about relationship, and it's going to be about the feminine side of the relationships.
Hmm.
Oh, the
Like, give some
feminine
examples.
well, the feminine principle is unconditional love. It's
Right.
nurturing, it's taking care of, uh, people, it's, responding to the needs of others, and so this is that is the biggest thing that we all have to learn, is that learn to take care of ourselves in an equal value.
Mm.
We get I can't even tell you how many clients I have come in and they've taken care of everybody else, and they're so depressed, they're so disgusted, they're so angry, they're so upset because they don't do for themselves.
Mhm.
And of course, we have to learn, it's one thing to be strong for everybody else, but you have to learn to put you've learned to put your needs last, and we have to learn to put our needs in equality. So as we moved into this, and I mean, Sirius is squared to 4 planets: the Moon, Sun, Mercury, and Venus, which mean here is again a compilation of energy around relationships, and it's specifically addressing the feminine quality of relationships. So we're learning that we need to take care. Doesn't mean you're weak. It means that you have to respond to your own body to prevent burnout. What did we just talk about you getting sick?
Yeah, I mean, it's this exact thing.
It's the exact thing. So you don't have to hit a breaking point to deserve rest.
Right.
And I would say, as a cancer, you probably need to really take that to heart.
Mhm.
I need rest. I need to relax. I need
Mhm.
to, um, I always say cancers are nesters. Just need to nest and not feel guilty about it. That's the biggest thing, is not feeling guilty about
For
nesting.
sure, and especially because our culture isn't really set up that way, and so even if you can talk yourself like, this is my experience at least, when I can talk myself even into the nesting, like, "Oh, I'm just, really into this," I notice that the people around me are super uncomfortable with it, or it makes the conversation is like, "Well, I haven't seen you in forever," but there's always stuff to do. There's always places to go and people to see, and so it takes so much practice to really be a person that allows that rest without guilt and without listening to all the voices outside of you saying, "Wait, but no, 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 you have to be at this thing," you know?
Yeah. Well, that's it. And that's kind of the point. So, I mean, it's like society and culture has taught us to survive by being strong. But the thing about it is, you've got to learn, just because you take care of yourself doesn't mean you're letting anything fall apart.
Can we talk about that a little bit? Because I think the way you said that is so perfect in that that is what we think as a society. But the older I've gotten, the more I'm like, we are defining strong so incorrectly. Because the way that it is set up is that strong means powering through, not listening to your body, not listening to your feelings, not feeling. And to me, those are some of the strongest things, I'm doing air quotes, that we are missing. Like, actually feeling feelings is not for the faint of heart. That is not
Yeah.
feeling feelings does not make you weak, it actually makes you strong. And so it's like we
It's
really need to redefine what we look at strength as.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's where your guidance comes from, through feelings.
Right,
Guidance doesn't come from emotions. Guidance
right.
comes from feeling. And of course, we've learned to survive like that. So just because, I used to have a good friend of mine that I'd go over and whine to him, and he was another business owner. And he said, "Hey, Marv, 100 years won't mean nothing." Yeah, you're right. It won't.
Yeah.
So you got to feel like just because you are not stressing yourself and taking care of everything else in the world, and when you stop, the world's not going to fall apart.
No, it still keeps going.
And so we've got to get to that. And of course, a lot of why this has been a going on is, I we have nowhere nears can talk about the Saturn Neptune at 29 degrees in Pisces.
Mm,
I was just talking to my wife and I was saying, how does the layperson grasp that we are at the end of the chart, the end of a 36-year cycle in Pisces of letting go? And it's Neptune. Well, Neptune is like smoking a joint and walking around spaced out all the time.
right.
I
And
mean,
especially in Pisces, it's double whammy.
I just had to get a grasp of myself here a couple weeks ago and say, why am I so spacey? I am never spacey. I'm a Capricorn. I'm the most grounded person on the planet. But
Right.
yet the spaciness is just, I mean, I finally realized it was Neptune at 29 degrees. I mean, this is a 180-year cycle. So, and Saturn is your Capricorn sign or ruler. So I mean that's groundedness. Well, it's in Pisces. How do you ground anything in Pisces?
I don't know, but
You
I'm ready
got
for it to move too, because I feel
yeah.
that one.
And so it's like we're all ending this cycle, and there'll be some of it ends about mid-month, and then
Okay.
some of it'll end mid-month in February,
Okay.
to where both planets will be in Aries. They'll still be conjunct, so there'll still be a little, you know, there'll still be a little haziness of walking around, a little spacey, but you're going to end of a long emotional chapter in your life, that spiritual side where you can just feel like you can get in la la land, and
Mhm.
it's going to be the beginning of a much more active um, lifestyle.
Well,
So we're going
isn't
to become much more active.
yeah. I was gonna say, I keep seeing people talk about other astrologers that I follow or whatever, talking about how 2026 is gonna feel like fast motion in comparison to where we have been because of these I think it's these planets. I would assume it's a lot to do with that Neptune
Yeah,
energy.
it
But yeah,
does.
like, it just felt and I know for me, like, I have placements in Pisces, so this matters, but, like, I have felt like the last 2 years specifically, I've just been walking through quicksand is what it feels like, or it's like
Yeah.
2 steps forward, 10 steps back, every time. So is that energy gonna shift when this moves into Aries?
Oh, yeah. It's a slog. It's a slog.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been dealing with things that are unclear, emotional, draining, hard
Yeah.
to define.
Yeah.
It's all Neptune.
Yeah.
And it's still going to be Neptune, even if it's in Aries.
Really?
But in Aries, it makes it much more uh, action oriented. We're going to want to move towards our imagination and visualizations. So we'll feel that direction that won't feel so foggy.
Mm.
And it'll be a much more, instead of I can't live through this and in the confusion, not because you understand everything, but because you're done tolerating uncertainty.
Mm.
So we're going to be less uncertain of a direction.
Thank God. I'm ready.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes.
am so ready for that energy.
And so, it's not about fixing things that are broke. And there's plenty broke.
Right.
It's about deciding who you are, what you are, and how you want to express yourself. And as we move into uh, even July, we're going to get more and more and more clarity. And one of the things that is important to understand about this energy is you can't trust anything.
I was gonna say you sent me that thing, I think it was from TikTok, but let's talk about that a little bit, which was say you essentially
Well,
said
it's
we're all living in this like illusion.
well, that's what Neptune is. It's
Yeah.
delusion, illusion. It's a fog. It's a universal consciousness where everything is. And I mean, who among us can start separating the wheat from the chaff when we're in the universal knowledge? It's very difficult. And so we're living in this disbelief of this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie. It's all the lies and all the deceit and all of
Right.
the less than clear uh, truths that we're having to live with. And
You
of course, there hasn't it always been like this. So, I mean, but it has always been like this.
what do you mean?
Well, politics has always been like this.
Oh,
Whether
yeah, and
whether
we're
we're
just finally
whether we're
seeing
going
it for what
into
it
Iraq,
is.
whether we're going
Yeah.
into Iran, that there's always some motivation that's hidden from the masses.
Right.
It's just like right now, we're not allowed to express that the aliens are on the planet, been on the planet for 80 years, and yet they've been on the planet. And yet the government has been camouflaging that and hiding that for since the 1930s.
Well, there's a ton I think, if you are on social media at all, and whatever you believe, it's like that the energy of what do I trust and who can I trust because it feels like everything that we're being pitched is a lie of some degree, and there's a debate about what the truth is, and I think with AI, it's getting even more tricky, and so what you're just saying about these things, like, yeah, it has always been happening, it just has not impacted our day to day in the way that it feels like it is now because we're coming into this awareness of like, wait a second, we're being manipulated on all of these levels all the time for someone else's motive that we don't know about. And people are getting fed up with that. Like, we just want to know what's going on, you know?
Well, and like I say, I'll reiterate, it's the way it's always been.
I totally agree with that. It's just
Doesn't
hit
have
some
anything to
different.
do doesn't have
Yeah.
anything to do with political party. It's always been like that. They
Yeah.
hide shit. The other one hides shit.
Yep.
Everybody's
They
hiding
all
shit.
do. Yes. I completely agree.
So when you say the driver is that now you can only trust you.
Got it.
How beautiful is that? When you
Hmm.
can't trust the external feedback, how about just trusting yourself?
Hmm.
How about just trusting yourself to be authentically who you are? And that's where we're headed
You know what's
is believing
interesting?
in ourselves.
Yes, and you know what's interesting is, I don't know how much you know about the influencer culture, Marv, but, like, that I think on social media, what I've noticed, and this is coming from a person who was a former influencer, like, I just remember in those days of my job and doing that, it felt like what I was doing was trying to take the guesswork out for people. People wanted someone else to just say, "Just do it. This is how you get this." Like, we wanted a map basically of life, you know? And that is how we've been as a culture for the last like little bit of time is like, somebody just tell me how to do this cuz life is hard and I don't want the responsibility of adulting on my own. So can you just tell me like, how do I get skinny? How do I eat right? How do I get successful and make $1,000,000. And the truth is all that's doing is like going by someone else's life pattern and it's not going to probably work for you because we're all individuals with a specific life purpose and soul purpose. And so what I hear when you say, like, the only person you can trust in is yourself is, like, not like, "Oh, you can't have relationships with people and you can't trust people," but it's more about, like, no one else can live your life for you or map it out for you or anything like that. Like, you have to really go deep inside of yourself and do the due diligence and take the responsibility of adulting for your own self and stop putting it outside of you, like, from the getting trying to get all of that from an external place because it's an internal job. Does that
Yeah,
make sense?
absolutely.
And the
I mean,
influencer culture is dying, so I feel like it's right in line with that. Like, it's
well,
not working anymore.
and it's not just the government that's doing it. It's the I mean, I am so over the the news that says
Mm-mm.
you have to know this, you have to believe this, you
Yeah,
have
no,
to
you
understand
don't.
this. I mean,
They just want your clicks.
as soon as I read something like that, I say, I don't have to do anything.
Right, right.
No, but, you need to know this. You need to understand this. No, I don't.
No, they just figured out how to hook into your fear somehow, is
Yeah,
mostly what
yeah.
that is. Yeah.
And so, we've been playing this game of what does this mean? What is happening? How do I hold space for this? And what life is teaching us right now is what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? How are you going to take your first step?
Mm,
Who are you choosing to be now? That's a big one. Now, that's all there is.
right.
And so there's a sudden need to start saying no. So
Okay.
many times we're afraid to say no.
Mhm.
And I think that Aries is really going to start bringing this out. We are start going to start getting more independence and individuality
Mm,
for certain.
mhm.
And so I think choosing action over overthinking is the analogy of it. So we're taking responsibility for our own life and not everyone else's emotions.
Mm.
And so um, you're not becoming cold, you're becoming clear.
This is like codependency 101.
Yeah, you're not abandoning compassion, you're protecting it.
Yeah.
You're not losing sensitivity, you're learning direction.
Mm,
All of those things bring guilt. I mean, I would say at least 25% of all the clients that I see, it's is the bottom line.
mhm.
That's the initial sensitizing event, being guilty. And so we're finishing a long, long period of emotional and spiritual testing and stepping into a phase where clarity comes through action, not reflection.
I'm just laughing because it is so odd to me every time we do these podcasts, like, it's not odd, that's not the right word, but I just get so much validation from the universe because our in my instincts are, like, always in line with the astrology, and I don't understand all the time because I'm not an astrologer, so I'm not, like, tuned in exactly to what's happening as much as I have been learning. It's just interesting because, like, my instinct about I am like, I used to be the biggest overanalyzer. Like, I would think in every way, shape, or form how the situation could go, like to a hyper vigilant point, just like analyzing every aspect of a situation. And in the last year, my instinct has been more like, just do. And if you fuck it up, you can do something different or fix it or whatever. But like, the more I thought about things, the more I was holding myself back from taking any action because I was just sitting in the thoughts of it versus like taking an action. And I realized like taking the action is often how I learn what I truly want, what I truly need, how to make it work. And the sitting and overthinking doesn't get me anywhere, like at all. And I actually was having a conversation with a friend not that long ago about relationship. And she was so stuck in the like, but what if this or what if that or whatever. And I'm like, well, just fucking do it and see what happens. Like, just get mad and yell and then see how it go, like stop over analyzing every single step so much that you're crippling yourself from moving and just move. And it's going to become clear. And that's what the astrology, that's what I hear it saying is like, I've just
Mhm.
gotten fed up with overthinking. I can't do it. I'm like, ugh, ugh, stop.
Well, astrology is energy. It is manifestation of energy.
Yeah.
So you're learning the manifestation of the energy.
Oh,
Sitting in, it was Einstein that said, I think 99 times I learn nothing.
it's
I swim
true.
in silence and learn everything.
Everything. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So thinking is valued.
Mhm.
There's nothing to think. And so, it as we move into the new moon in Capricorn on the 18th, its passive reflection of our deepest thoughts comes to the surface.
Okay.
So we're really grappling with the subconscious mind,
Mm.
and that's what our deepest thoughts are. So when it comes up, it clears up fears and doubts by stilling the mind.
Mm.
And that's what we need to do. Still the mind, quit listening to the ego ramble on and on and on and on, what maybe, might be, could be, should be, which is all lies.
Mhm. Well, if you go into the mind too, like, I realized I was coping a lot of times to go into the thinking because it's a sense of control, and it takes you out of the feeling, and so if you're, like, swirling up there in your head all the time, overanalyzing and trying to think your way into the solution, you're so disconnected from your heart then, or I am, like, I can't fully feel the thing, or, I'm trying to avoid feeling the thing by thinking my way out of it, and it, again, doesn't get me anywhere most of the time. Or it's being guided by my ego, like you're saying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't love somebody in your brain.
Yeah. We do sure do try though, don't
We
we?
sure do try. Oh, I love you.
Right.
For real?
Right. Who knows if it's in your mind?
So the big energy that's coming up is, I mean, we didn't just have 8 planets in the full moon. We've got them in the new moon coming in Capricorn on the 18th.
Wow.
And this is a huge deal because Pluto and Vesta are connected. Vesta is relationships.
What is
So
Vesta?
we are going to change relationship dynamics like you're not even going to believe.
Interesting.
So it's the personal transformation of ego, pain, desires, relationship, and our autonomy, who we are.
Mm.
So this is really going to change. Vesta is the feminine asteroid
Oh, it's an
of
asteroid.
relationships.
Okay.
It is Vesta is it's love. It's agape love. It's uh the the it's how do we love ourselves and love others.
Mm.
See, the feminine is always nurturing and loving and taking care and keeping the house clean and you know keeping um the innermost part of the family and the inner self in its correct values and so
Mhm.
masculine is what's going out the front door, going to make money, going to build the
Mhm.
dream, going to and then bring it back and give it over to the feminine.
Mhm.
And so the feminine is always getting in trouble by overdoing
Right.
and never stopping, as we talked about. So, but this Capricorn is going to know what's right. I'm done pretending otherwise.
Mhm.
That'll be a statement. I'm structuring my life accordingly. It's the energy of firm decisions, honest conversations, endings that lead to liberation, and choosing integrity over approval.
Mm.
I mean, how wonderful is that? And that's what the Capricorn new moon is going to bring us.
Well, let
Because
me
Capricorn is not a playful sign.
no. It's like the least playful sign, I would say. I mean, I can't think of one that's less playful.
Well, Capricorn is to manifest integrity on this planet.
Mm.
That's what we have to learn. Is Capricorn is about overcoming the trials and tribulations that this planet gives us and
Mhm.
offers us.
Mhm.
And when we can overcome those trials and tribulations, well, we're on our way to enlightenment.
Mhm.
And
Well,
that's the point.
I wanna ask you this. So, like, just hearing all of these things and the way and this is why I like talking about astrology with you because you're always focusing on, like, the positive side of these things that we're learning in the evolution. But what do you anticipate based on all of the things we just talked about being, like, the big struggle for people with these energies? Like, because to me, the way we just talked about them, I'm like, "These feel positive to me." This feels and I know some of these transits or, different planets moving is gonna be tricky in some ways too. So what would you say? Is there anything that comes to mind?
Well, I would say that this whole string of planets is
Yeah.
going to be um, a movement towards clarity and a resolve where
Okay.
thoughts and feelings and actions are all moving in the same direction. So when you feel like you're disjointed,
Okay.
that's when you need to stop and allow yourself to feel,
Mm.
allow yourself to speak honestly to yourself, much less other
Right.
people.
Mhm.
It's about making firm decisions, taking responsibility for what truly matters. So it's about growing in intolerance for injustice,
Okay.
pretense, emotional compromise, emotional, especially in relationships and commitments. So we're going to get more serious about relationships and the issues that they were reflecting to us
Mhm.
and we can grow from.
Mhm.
So it's like we're all being called in on our shit.
So that could get a little dicey. Because some
And
people
so,
will be like,
yeah.
"Okay, game on, universe," and some people are gonna go being dragged, I would imagine.
Well, like, just think of this. I mean, if you're no longer willing to betray yourself
Yes.
to keep peace,
Yes.
how is that going to affect your life?
I'm thinking about it in my life specifically, and I'll tell you, I feel like I'm there, and I feel good about that, but I definitely think it's gonna be an issue for people in my life because 'cause they're not used
Right.
to that from me, you know?
Right. So it's much more of an intentional transformation
Interesting.
with Capricorn.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
going to intend to become more us and
Mhm.
more individualistic. Um, but what emerges is a greater self respect and emotional maturity. And it's just a renewed sense of personal authority.
Mm,
I mean, when you
I
give away
love
your
that.
power,
Yes.
how does it make you feel about yourself?
Not
When you
good.
walk away and you reflect back on how you just, communicated something that wasn't totally integrity within yourself, it just makes you feel dirty, makes you feel like going taking a shower,
Gives you
makes you
the ick.
feel, yeah,
Mhm.
makes you feel like you just gotten dumped on.
Mhm.
So, I mean, we need to speak up because we've been staying quiet too long.
Mhm.
And this goes for all of society. How
Mhm.
could we be in this situation? How could we have been so dipped into believing the wonderful things that was presented to us about the country, about other people, our relationships in our life? I mean, how many times do you think a relationship is on the rails and all of a sudden you turn around and it's going off the rails?
Yeah.
And so we got to walk away from unhealthy structures. We got to start claiming our authority in our own lives and and realizing that we need to speak. Our voice is the creative power. I mean, how did we create the heavens and earth? The word, the word from God speaks the voice. So, it's about cleaning out our house that we've lived in for years.
Mhm.
And that means we're going to clean up society. We're going to clean up culture. We're going to clean up all these things to move into the Aquarian age and make everything and make equality, not power, not not abundance of resource, is not going to hold up.
I love
Equality
yes,
is going to hold up.
and I love the part about taking the ownership of authority in your own life. Like, that's what I was saying about the influencer culture. We just wanted to, like and I get why all of us did that, but it feels like so much of the way our systems have been set up was, like, to operate moving into Lululand and kinda like, "La-di-da-di-da-di-da. Okay, tell me how to do this. Tell me how to do this. I wanna skip the steps of learning." And maybe now we're kind of gonna be like, "Wait, what do I need to do for me? What is true for me? What do I believe?" Like, not just turning that authority over and giving our power away to any Joe Schmo on the street, you know?
Yeah. And it's what I call mob psychology. You can't escape mob psychology.
Yeah.
This is why you got to stay out of it. Stay
Mm,
out of the news. Stay out of the political drama. Stay out of the stuff because it'll suck you in.
yeah. And I'll
And
tell you, having some Aquariuses in your life will help you with that.
oh, they'll
That
help
is
you
not
for
how an
sure.
Aquarius moves, and that has been life-changing for me truly to witness the Aquarius energy. I have multiple new Aquarians in my life, and I'm like, "Huh, this is so wild that y'all just march to the beat of your own drummer and don't buy into all the shit the rest of us do all the time."
Yeah, and so for you, I mean, let's look at what you have in your house of relationships. Uranus,
Mm,
ruler of Aquarius.
I do, don't I? I didn't even
Yes, you
realize
do.
that.
Oh my.
I didn't even think about that until you just said it. Oh my gosh.
And guess what you have in your first house of personality that just came about?
Chiron?
Uranus.
Oh, Uranus and Taurus. Yeah, but it's been there.
Well, just for a few years.
I thought it's been there for like 7 years, no?
No.
Oh, I'm wrong. Okay. When is it isn't it moving into Gemini though?
Well, yeah, but it's still in your house, first house of personality,
Oh, that one's I've felt that one.
energetic expression.
Yeah, it's definitely
And
rough.
so, yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful balance. He's teaching you how you learn how to disconnect and control the emotions that you've
Mm,
had all your life
mhm,
and become much more balanced, which is what your sixth house of Libra is all about, being
mhm.
balanced.
No wonder this is such an interesting relationship for me because in turn, I'm also teaching him to feel more and to like
Yeah.
express
Oh,
himself through feeling more, you know? So it's a very interesting
let me know
dynamic.
how that works.
It's actually it's he has a Pisces rising and a Pisces Venus though. So he has it in him, so it works.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
but yeah,
Well,
we're
if he has
both
a Pisces rising, he definitely does.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think it's like both of our souls were drawn together because we needed to learn those 2 things. So we're, like, able
Yeah.
to learn from it. I mean,
So,
we
see,
definitely hit each other.
he's actually a soft, spongy Aquarius.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
If he gets too Aquarian, you just need to bump him upside the head a little bit and say, "Hey."
Oh, I do, trust.
Oh, I'm sure you
Have
do.
you met me, Marv? Come on. You know me better than that, come on.
Wow.
Anyway, well, I this was interesting. I'm actually I don't know if it's because I'm just happy to be back at work or whatever it is, but I feel ready to move, and I feel like a lot of that is tied to the astrology, and so I'm hoping others are feeling that too because I know last year just felt like a lot of burnout, you know?
Yeah. Well, it's not just tied to astrology, it's tied to the energy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The
Energy is everything.
yes.
Frequency and vibration is your ability to create the life you want.
Mhm.
So when we talk about all the things and all the astrology, all we're talking about is energy.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, whether it's, whether you're using energy for good or you're struggling with it. And it's okay to struggle with it because it gives you an opportunity to learn how to better use the energy.
Yeah.
I mean, learning how to
Mhm.
have an Aquarian in your life as a intimate relationship is pretty damned important for you.
Yeah,
And I think that's, I mean, this is the man you've been searching for many years of your life.
I would agree with that. My mom thinks so too.
Okay. So it reminds me of who sang that song? If you like it what you see and put a ring on it. Oh,
Are you trying to get me married, Marv?
well, I don't have no problem marrying you up. I'll walk you down the aisle.
It's the age of Aquarius. Do we care about that kind of stuff?
Oh, heavens, yes. I mean, especially with a Pisces rising. Are you kidding?
Well,
They,
I'll keep you guys
they still want ownership.
Yeah, yeah. Guess we'll see. That would be a big
With a
announcement on the
Pisces
pod.
rising, he's capable of getting very jealous.
Oh, interesting. I've never experienced that side of him.
Oh, because he hides it.
Yeah,
He ain't going to show that to
yeah.
you. You just know it's there.
Okay. I'll
You
call
know
him.
he's just a cherry, a bonbon.
Like a
I mean, he got this
sweet
hard exterior, but when
Oh,
you
I
bite
definitely know
into it,
the
it's
very sweet.
it's a liquid cherry. Sure.
Yes, 100%. I call him on
Okay.
that one all the time.
Well, so you just know it's there. You
Okay,
don't have to see it. You know
okay.
it's there.
Noted. Well, if you guys wanna learn more about what's gonna come in the year of 2026 for you personally, I highly recommend doing a session with Marv. I'll put all of his contact info in the description of this podcast. We always put your email and the website if you guys are feeling, a little nervous and wanna go check out things beforehand, go check that out. Obviously, you can also find Marv every month on the podcast to start the month, so you can get a taste of what it's like. But he does the personal readings are always really, really helpful, so I'll put that, and then also he has a book, Soul Fusion Healing, so we'll put that in the description of the podcast as well for you guys, so go check out all of that, and Marv, thank you for being here. We'll see you again next month.
Well, thank you for Kelly for being you.
Thank you. Well, that was sweet. See, just a little softy, little Capricorn Aries softy at the end of the day.
I know how to suck up.
Pretend you didn't add that part in. All right. Thank you guys for
Bye
listening.
bye, dear.